this online podcast series, Wet Chat R. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoying their summer break at their homes. So in series ka motto is basically, as we all know that UVAS mein summer break is going on. So it's basically to invite career professionals of different fields to enlighten the students at their homes. We'll be discussing the journeys of all the professionals, that what made them who they are today, how they got here today. Additionally, we'll be discussing different skills that we need to imply as students to get there if we want to pursue that particular path. So it's going to be a fun hour. So stay tuned. आज का topic, as we all know, is career paths and field challenges in pet practice. And for that, we have our esteemed speaker, Dr. Humaira Ahmad Khan, today with us. So Dr. Humaira Ahmad Khan is CEO of Vet Lagari Animal Hospital, Lahore. She has done her MPhil in veterinary internal medicine on a fully funded Turkish government scholarship. She is also a cultural ambassador of Pakistan in USA during Global UVAS Scholarship Program. She is the former veterinary practitioner in University Veterinary Teaching Hospital, Turkey. Formerly, she was also a veterinary doctor at Bahia Town Zoo Dog Kennels and Riding Club. And additionally, she has won a United Nations Pakistan Youth Icon Award in 2016. So we're esteemed to have you here, ma'am. Is ma'am still in the meeting?
Oh yes, thank you, Hijab, for actually thanks to SAVERS for thinking that it's important to organize some clinical sort of lectures or also the competencies, and then followed by these podcasts. So I'm thankful for I can say I'm thankful from the whole nation who are actually joining. So thank you so much, SAVERS, and thank you, Hijab.
Ma'am, without further ado, our audience is curious to know, and we as viewers and we as students are curious to know that how you ended up here. What was your journey? Who made you who you are today? So, because हम जो है वो इस टीम अपने faculty को या फिर professionals को देखते हैं इस field में, and we think that how they got here today. So, a little about your own journey, that how you got here today, where you are.
So basically, it all ended up from my grandfather thinking that I will be a doctor. I am the first female born in 5 generations in my country, in my family. 5 generations mein pehli beti, and the beti has to be a doctor. So they always kept on telling me, although I loved mathematics more than the biology. So बस वो एक था कि बस डॉक्टर ही बनना है. Then I went through the process like most of you people did, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to be. Because एक थोड़ी सी मेरी you can say some people are born with some stuff. I was born with the thing कि थोड़ा सा कुछ हटके करना है हमेशा से. Sometimes आपको लगता है rebellious बच्चा. So I was mostly considered a rebellious बच्चा of the family, because जिस track पे मुझे डाल रहे होते पे डाल दिया है or whatever they are can you guys listen to me? Is everything fine?
Yes, okay, there's a slide.
Okay, just give me a minute. Okay, do you want me to repeat?
No, ma'am, you were audible, but there was a slight distortion. It's fine.
Okay, so basically, it all started with a certain failures, which you can say family failures, because I was not ready to fit in, and some career failures, which people actually decided for me, or मेरे से हो नहीं रहा था. But I grew up with animals in the house, and that's a true fact. My grandmother had a dog, and she was the most loved dog of the family. And then my father had dogs, and a couple of other pets as well, including a monkey. My uncle had a monkey. So, we were very close to animals. We were not afraid of animals, just say, the babies are, or the people are. So it was, to be a vet was not very superstitious, or you can say stereotypical for me, because a lot of family members were vets before. Like my grandmother's nephew is a retired army vet, and then we know the first registered veterinary practitioner of Pakistan, the PVMC registered and gave him number 1, is also one of the family members, and a lot of other people. So for me, choosing this field was not very shocking, like most of the people tell it was shocking for them. During I started, so the thing that happened to me is that I was born and raised in different, like, cities of the country, but when I ended, like, in my FSC, I ended up in my hometown. So after I completed my FSC, I was told that there is veterinary college that is new, but it is in your hometown, so it's good that you start over there. And we knew some people who were actually advertising it. It was there for like 5 to 10 years, but it was not like very focused, or the college system was different from the previous one. It was not a faculty, it was a college. So I joined it, and I didn't know anything about UVAS or UAF or even the Peshawar one. So I ended up in Gomal like this. Like, I had no idea. Just because my father was taking me to have an admission, to not waste my year and have an admission in the Form B, and I opted out, like, nahi, maine wo nahi padna, I have to be a vet at least, because I know what vets are. So I don't have anybody who was from pharmacy. So this is how it actually started. It was not like a very pre-planned thing. So I will not lie like people do. I had this plan, I had a dream and stuff like that. But yes, when it started, I actually suffered a lot, and when you suffer a lot, you start to love a little. You get used to those things. So I started to evolve myself professionally and everything, and then today I'm here. So if I just make it a little official, so working as a female veterinarian in Pakistan it's not a challenge, basically. It's not a problem, but it comes with a unique sets of presentations, the unique sets of challenges due to the traditional social norms. So yeah, basically it's the definition. I'm not going to say you cannot be a good vet as a female. You can be, but you have to be a little bit under the barrier of the traditions, right? And despite these challenges, yes, exactly. So despite these challenges, yeah, the field of veterinary medicine is evolving. Like, it's still evolving in the country. Like, the place I'm going these days to, it's Rifa College of Veterinary Sciences, and majority of the faculty is female. And it was shocking for me to know that just in the Department of Veterinary Medicine, we just have 2 male. The whole hierarchy is female hierarchy. I was very happy to know that something is happening in the country as well that promotes women. If they cannot go into the field and they opt out for academics, they can actually choose something, and people are welcoming them in some institution. And the more the women are entering this field and excelling in the profession, the more the men or the male dominating society is happy right now. Let's take it positive. We are helping them evolve this profession. Yes. They needed us because they needed brains, and women do have brains. So they needed us. We are also helping them evolve, and we continue to make it hands-on experience with them. Yes, we cannot go to the farms. A lot of other challenges are there, but then they can actually leave the whole clinic on us. This is like something, how we are overcoming the gender biasness these days and establishing a successful career. So for me, Gomal was my start. And at that time, I didn't know about UVAS or UF, like I mentioned. I didn't know, like, there are like cool type of institutions that will one day not accept me because they have this stereotypic thinking about my institution, and I will have to prove them that yes, one day you will need me to speak on the portfolios or places, a person from Gomal, right? So to do that, I opted out for co-curricular activities. I did study, but I was a debater. I did study, but I was collecting blood for the thalassemia patients. I did study, but I was working for women empowerment. So this is what made me what I am today. सिर्फ किताबें पढ़ के, सिर्फ क्लास में टीचर से क्वेश्चन करके मैं कुछ बन नहीं पाई या वो हो नहीं सकी. And trust me, I'm not saying it was a college तो बहुत एक छोटा सा, like we had this very little mini classes and everything, mini strengths and everything, and we were actually targeted the most because जितने ज़्यादा students होते हैं, you are not under the problems. So at that time I used to think like like my father is not doing good with me. He put me in this institution, and what am I doing here? But those barriers at a very low level prepared me for the barriers to overcome internationally. और वो जरूरी था. It was needed for a woman to come out of that region. And yes, I wore a burqa. I had just my eyes visible for 5 years in Gomal University. When I started there, I did pregnancy diagnoses like that. I did almost everything like that. I went for debates. I was in the final round of HEC, and I was told by the judge to come down off the podium because how will he see my facial expressions? Because I'm covering my face in an Islamic Republic of Pakistan and a person from Islamic International University. So I did face a lot. And not just professionally. Yes, my professional career was very smooth. I will say I'm thankful to my parents. But I always tell my female veterinarian friends and the males, because in my clinic I have most of the male staff these days, and many of them are toppers of their institutions, but they have zero communication when they come and they join. How will you convince clients and how will you communicate that they have the issue? They know, but they cannot take it out. So yes, this was my journey, and then I went to Turkey. I know it's a little long. I know you guys are getting bored, but we will come back to the other question. And right after
very, like, for us it's a motivation, because usually जो है वो इस तरह institutions में, जैसे you did your DVM from Gomal, so एक general norm है ना, और एक prejudice है कि from small institutions कैसे आगे career क्या होगा and all, but you ended up in Turkey, and after that global UGrad alumni, and so it's a big motivation for us. And so how did you end up in Turkey basically?
So basically, it started from global UGrad career. It was the first. When I was in my 5th semester, a senior from somewhere in Korea contacted me. I don't know this person. I don't know where he graduated from. He just heard about me from somewhere. Some dean talked about me that there is this girl who just challenges everybody, even in the class, and is not, a notorious person and stuff like that. So he thought, you're the person who's literally going to compete in the global UGrad applications, and do send your data to United States Education Foundation for Pakistan. He contacted me 2.5 days before the deadline of the global UGrad. And I did submit my application, and I got selected. And then I did my 7th semester from Murray State University, Kentucky, because it's like an exchange program. But at the same time, it's a leadership scholarship. So the people they think are the leaders of future, or somebody who, because it's all about communication skills, all about, you can say, public speaking skills, all about your grip on the profession, how you can represent your country, how much patriotic you are, and stuff like that. So it's all a blend of that. So that's where my eyes opened to the world. The other person I met was from Rifa College of Veterinary Sciences at that time. His name was Nabil. Mashallah, he's a doctor now. He has his own clinic as well. So he told me about this college, and I had never known about this college before. I didn't know what college is it and where is it. And he told me that, we are competing with UVAS, and the thing. So I just knew about UVAS already now, because some of alumni of UGrad, I met them there as well. So this is how I fell in love with the small animals, because over there I saw that, even in the large animal clinics, they are bringing more dogs and cats, and the behavior with them is just like you behave with your daughters or sons, or if they are in pain. And that was my first experience to have this, because the outdoor clinic in Gomal University just had large animals, and also specifically the majia, the buffaloes. So not even the cows used to come a lot. I don't know about the current situation. Majje bahut aati thi wahan pe, and horses भी आ जाते थे. एक horse हमारी अपनी यूनिवर्सिटी का भी था. She was a mare, I guess. Yeah, she was very old, donated by the Nawab of Dera, Allah unko bakshe. And that was my first time to interact with the pets. तो वहाँ पे I felt कि यार ये तो बड़ी कोई प्यारी चीज है, and that is it, because I was a pet parent as well, or you can say pet sibling at that time. I was not self-sufficient enough, so I fell in love with this thing. Yeah. Yes. So what happened later that I came back to Pakistan, and people started to tell me that my whole year will be repeated. And this is when the rebellion started against my own institution, and I fell into a lot of problems and stuff. But then I graduated on normal time, alhamdulillah, everything ended up good. Then I was hired by Bahariya Town Zoo right after my graduation, because my internship was in Lahore Zoo. Allah Khush Rakhe, Dr. Babar, Dr. Madiha, Dr. Rizwan. They literally told me how to even look at an animal. I would look at them just like वो जिस तरह होते हैं ना कि हम जाते हैं zoo में तो बड़े oh my god ये bear है. I was like that. Trust me, I was like that. Or in just some months or a year, I was fostering pumas and puma cubs, and I was fostering wallaby kangaroos, and I was fostering the African lions. यानी एक साल पहले वाली Humaira was like mesmerized. He didn't know anything, but then she became you can say wildlife mommy. So I fostered a lot of animals there. So then I thought, okay, I'm working well. I have 10 marle ka ghar, I have this cultus and fuel mila hua hai, and everything is there. But there is no growth. And I had lost my son too. So my father thought that instead of going to a psychiatrist or a clinical psychologist for counseling, education is the best counseling. So he said, okay, I think you should leave the country because people are asking you stupid questions. You know, the social stuff. This is how I ended up in Turkey. At that time, only Turkish scholarship was open. I applied, I got it. So I went there, and that was life-changing for me, because in zoo, I did have 56 dogs, because that was Malak Riaz's personal property, and I had a kennel. So that was my first experience with the dogs, to groom them, to be their mom. They were not coming with clients, और वो मेरे मतलब उनके मसले मेरे मसले थे. They were most of the managemental problems. उसके बाद zoo भी था, वहाँ पे horses भी थे, but there was no growth. Who am I after 10 years? The same veterinary doctor of Bahariya Town. So Dr. Imran, you people know my husband, and yes, we got married the first year of my, you can say, job in Bahariya Town, and now I had somebody to tell me कि क्या करना है आपने also apart from my parents. So he said you should apply and you should go, and that happened. Like in just 2 months, I applied to Turkey, and I went. I learned Turkish language for the first year. I was so disappointed. मेरा पूरा साल जाया हो रहा है, ये मैं क्या कर रही हूँ, मैंने तो आगे रिसर्च पेपर इंग्लिश में लिखना है, मेरा क्या काम है पूरा. And then Corona came in between, so this is a little disappointing, but at the same time, because my Turkish was good, so the Adjust University Teaching Hospital hired me as a vet practitioner. So everything happens for good. So whatever counts. Yeah, so we worked there, and कुछ भी आप ये ना समझें कि what God or Mother Nature is putting in your way is wrong. हर चीज को करने की कोशिश करें. हमेशा learning जो है वो end नहीं होती. I have a mentor who is the principal of the college, and he keeps on telling me कि until the grave you learn, and he's right actually. Until the grave we will learn. So this was how I ended up in Turkey. And that was the province's biggest pet practice hospital, with full diagnosis up to endoscopy, bronchoscopy, echocardiography, ECG done on the daily basis. And I did my internal medicine from there under the supervision of the best vets in Europe, alhamdulillah. And I worked with Europeans on the Erasmus Plus scholarship as well. So ये था सारा journey. Then I came back and I became a mommy, and I have been a mommy for like 1.5 years now almost. So I have my own clinic, as you guys know, and we have a lot of vets here. So I'm basically an owner.
sorry, but it's so commendable that you came back. But now people, once they go there, they are looking for further opportunities. आप आगे Europe move कर जाती, because you once told me when we were having a conversation that you were offered a job in Europe too, but you chose to come back to Pakistan to work here. That's even commendable.
So basically, I was married, and I want to give this message to the girls as well. Don't just run away from something you have already committed. अगर मुझे भागना ही होता ना, तो I wouldn't have committed to this man who waited for me for 3 years and 8 months to come back and start a family with him. So I came back for him actually, and I came back for my nation as well, because I knew something, I can be flourished here as well. And yes, the paths of outside are not closed at all. They will always be open, but you go when the right time is needed. आप जस्ट ये नहीं बस बाहर ही भागते रहोगे तो बाहर भी फिर एक दफा जगह नहीं बचेगी, वो भी ओवर क्राउडेड हो जाएगा. Try to find options here as well. So yes, and I would just like to end up this question that a support from colleagues and mentors, both male and female, is crucial in your whole journey. आप middle school से start लें. I'm not saying female mentors, I'm saying mentor. All my mentors are men, including my husband, my father, and the currently like I have no words to thank him, Dr. Mazhar Iqbal, you can say the legendary surgeon of Pakistan, and Dr. Mumtaz, the legendary medicine practitioner. I sit with them every day these days to learn, only to learn. So I think this is my earning of the lifetime if I'm able to sit with them every day. So start getting your mentors, find them.
So Lagari Animal Hospital, when did you started? How did it started? When did you started? And how's clinical practice nowadays going on as compared to what it was?
So that's a very good question. Basically, in 2017, when I started my job in Bahria town, a man came to meet me, and he was telling me that he's also a Ukrainian and he's opening a clinic in Bahria town. And just because Bahria town management is quite, you can say, insecure that यहाँ पे भैंसे, गायें, घोड़े, गधे आएंगे treatment करने, तो they referred him to me कि we have a veterinary doctor who can understand your clinical thing. So if she approves, we are able to give you a place to make the clinic. So we ended up marrying each other actually. That's about Dr. Imran. And he told me it's a pet clinic, and it has nothing to do with the large animal, the insecurity of Bahria town security and stuff like that. So he actually started it in 2017 in Bahria town with a partnership of a very respectable person. If you guys mostly know, in your final year you study NABLE from him and other competencies, Dr. Kamran Jahangir, if you know him, he's in Canada. And yeah, so it was a partnership. And when I moved to Turkey, my husband thought that, the typical thing, we don't have enough expenses anymore, so we have this saving, let's create another outlet sort of thing. So he did a survey कि कहाँ पे ज़रूरत है. We have very good vets in Faisal town and Johar town area. So in this was the area, Valencia town, which we thought can touch Johar town, Baghdad town, township, DHA Rehbar and everything. So it was actually a feasibility report was made. It was not just created on a day or something like that. So Dr. Imran said, okay, let's create it. And slowly, we started to give more time to this and took our partnership out of the K&I Animal Hospital in Bahria town. So this is how it happened. And that was 2019 when I went to Turkey. So basically, it's Dr. Imran who made it, but I'm the owner. And everybody must know that. So I always tell him, Dr. Imran, you're just an employee and you work here because I'm the official owner. And जब भी मैं पाकिस्तान आती थी, because I was married, मैं वहाँ पे thrice a year, I remember मैं एक बार thrice a year पाकिस्तान आई थी वापस, and I used to stay for a couple of months, and I used to practice here. जो वहाँ से सीखना उस सबको आके यहाँ पे अप्लाई करना. कई जगहों पे डॉक्टर इमरान से मुझे डांट भी पड़ती थी कि हुमैरा हर चीज अप्लाई नहीं होती, things are different, protocols are different, but I would just stand, I would be like नहीं मैंने करना है, मैं अब कह रही हूँ ना ये चीज that you have to do it क्योंकि मुझे तो प्रोफेसर साहब ने ये सिखाया है. So yes, this is all how I ended up working in Valencia town, and then I made enough clients कि जो Instagram के थ्रू मुझे टर्की कांटेक्ट करके मेरे से केसेस डिस्कस करते थे, and just for the practical examination they would come to Dr. Imran. Because मैं कहती थी, it's okay, you can go to my vet, you can ask him what is the physical exam and stuff, and then ask me, and then we will give you a good diagnosis and treatment. So, and whatever I'm saying, nothing of them is a lie or funny. It's all actually very true. And he's very supportive in the sense that even if I say कि ये मेरा client, he doesn't get insecure about it. In fact, he adds up his knowledge. So this is how Vet Lagari came into be. In the start, it was flourishing like a lot. And I think most of the clinical practitioners will agree with me. We have this mindset that our clinic is a hobby clinic. We created it because we had to kind of, spend time and, also make a little money out of it. And it's not like a complete business case because, Dr. Imran has a government job and he works in a university, as well as in the evening he just comes to check or do. He just performs surgeries now. It's been a year. He does not, checks the patients. So right now it's like we have created this Vet Lagari family. We call them VLF. We have this WhatsApp group and we have this contact system and everything. So whatever happens to their cats or dogs or small exotic animals, they would come to me. Yes, new clients are also welcome and we are doing well now, alhamdulillah. But inflation generally has caused a lot of people to ignore their pets now. We have to keep on calling them and reminding them that deworming is necessary, vaccination is necessary, because it's also one of the protocols that we put them on the register. Jiska time aata jata hai, we remind them. And the same people who would come the same day or the next day are actually ignoring it for months now. So it's the country's situation, and I won't just lie to you people. But alhamdulillah, still in profit, and alhamdulillah, it's working well. Currently, we have pre-interns from UVAS, and one of them is Sri Lankan boy. He's a 4th semester one, and we have 2 from the 9th semester. And then we are, inshallah, going to have a couple from Rifa and one of them from Komal, because every year I do try to, do something which I couldn't get. Something which I was not given an opportunity. So, मैं किसी एक को बना लूँ, तो maybe that would be good for me. So, and good for them as well. So, bas, alhamdulillah, things are going well, and this is it.
So, ma'am, you have a lot of know-how in animal nutrition as well, pet nutrition as well. So, as house owners, like, what cases do you mostly administer, examine in your clinic on a daily basis? Because we see that बहुत सारी toxicities तो बहुत common है जो आती हैं. So, you like address के बारे में?
Yes. So, yes, because I didn't study nutrition like nutrition, MPhil karna and PhD karna, but because I'm a pet mommy and I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, I do understand at that level as well. So, the most problems that are seen are actually overfeeding at first point. The cats are mostly overfed and they don't know how to do the portioning. So the most cases that are seen in the clinic are dietary indigestion. Yeah. And most of our young vets, if it is a kitten, consider it either panleukopenia, or if it is a puppy, they consider it a parvo one, or they would just put it on a deworming case or something. But we as an you are a complete package as a veterinarian. If I did my MPhil in internal medicine, that does not mean that I cannot do the other stuff. Yes, I can do this one the best, but the other stuff is also needed. So whenever a case comes to you, when they are leaving, give them a good management and nutritional advice. No matter they are using Royal Canin or Nutragold, the best foods in the world right now, no matter they are spending so much money, you have to make it your SOP that you have to tell them how to manage. So most of the cases that come to us are because of dietary indigestion. The first ones. Now what happens? Because the pets and even humans, if the immune system is compromised, The viruses, the bacteria, the funguses, and the protozoans, they are going to find a way in. And this is how the secondary infections begin. But if we directly think about the causes of toxicity in pets, just in the last month, we had a lot of issues related to poisoning. Now, how would you think? What could be causing this poisoning? Basically, it's the cleansing products that we are using at home. We should be very careful in using the surface cleaners or the bleach, ammonia, disinfectants, even mosquito repellents.
Yeah.
इतने ज्यादा issues आ रहे हैं, and you know, cats are getting rashes on their body. पाकिस्तान में कल्चर है और एक माइंडसेट है कि पर्शियन लेनी है हमने, नो मैटर आप उसके राइट्स पूरा कर सकते हैं नहीं कर सकते, you have to get that pretty cat and you're not going to get them a summer shave because वो कोजा लगेगा या कोजी लगेगी और will look ugly. So basically, this is the most biggest problems we are facing right now. It's the cleansing products, but also there is something I would say scrapes, or you can say the table leftovers.
Yeah.
Because we're talking more clinically as compared to the books that would mention the other stuff as well. So table scrapes are causing the issues as well, because you know, our homemade food in Pakistan has all onions and garlic. And you know what do they have? They contain the thiosulfates. And you know what does thiosulfate or thiosulfate does? They lead to hemolytic anemia in pets. So for the long run, if you keep on feeding them, I'm not talking about roti only or chawal only or घर में जो हम food बनाते हैं. No, not that. Leftover of the table, आपने खाया, साथ खिलाया. Even the fried chicken that you did at home is better than the fried chicken you get from the market, because you don't know what's in the batter, the one they use to fry that chicken. And then we have chocolate toxicity. We had this kitten case, and you know what the owner said? कि मुझे बहुत बुरा लगता है जब मेरे बच्चे खाते और वो नहीं खा पा रहा होता, तो मैं तो डेली बेसिस पे खिला देती हूँ. This is very common. She was angry with me कि मैं उसको कह रही हूँ कि मत खिलाएं. So very patiently I tried to tell her कि इसमें caffeine होती है at some level. When I was pregnant, my doctor told me to, although in the other hormonal changes, doctors will ask you to take chocolate for the blood thinning, for the good things, but this one, this specific chocolate or the dark chocolate has this theobromine and caffeine in it, which is toxic to dog and cats. So we have to avoid it. Then we have grapes and raisins. A lot of people are giving dry fruit and raisins to their cats from the kitten age, specifically in Turkey. We have this problem with raisins because it's a cold region. The place I was living in, they would just give almonds, walnuts, raisins, and then the cats would end up with acute kidney failures in the dogs specifically as well. Acute kidney failures happen. So we won't go in the details, but I would just mention that house plants is also very important, because they like to sit in the lawns, they like to sit in the, you can say, shady places, or cats like to scratch the trees and everything. So you have to be very careful while planting some trees or some plants in your home. Most of the very good breeds, or the breeds that cost a lot these days and used for show purposes in the rich class or upper class families, have good houses or beautiful houses. They win these garden competitions as well. So do you know the lilies? The cats are toxic to lilies. And even in the bouquets, they are being used on daily purpose. Did you know that? I didn't know for a long time ago, and since we had this problem and she came to us and she had this toxic issue that whenever there is a function at home, the cat starts to sneeze very badly and develops this, different type of clinical signs. So I just thought about it and I talked to my professors and they said that it could be lilies. And they agreed that yes, they bring lilies in the bouquet or something similar to that, similar plant. We have to be very careful with all of these. And there are other toxicities like NSAIDs, like acetaminophen and antidepressants. We can talk about that as well.
So, ma'am, is feeding dry kibble, in your opinion, is enough, or do we need to add something else in the feed too? Because usually एक यही common practice है ना कि हम cat food ले आए हैं, dog food ले आए हैं और हम वही feed कर रहे हैं constantly animal को. So, what's your perspective on that? That is it a balanced diet? Is it enough, or do we need to add more along with that?
Okay. So basically, हमारा purpose क्या होता है खाना देने के लिए? Like, what is our purpose? To give good nutrition, right? Nutrition, give balanced nutrition given in any form is not wrong. You can't just say कि वही balanced nutrition मैं dry में दूँ तो it's not as good as the wet one. It's not how it works. ये थोड़े से stereotypes हैं, थोड़े से misconceptions हैं. I'm not saying that a dry food is a complete replacement of a home cooked meal, but you cannot just completely blame that one. So basically, a pet nutrition should provide a balanced diet tailored for specific needs of animal. अब आप वही food उसको as a puppy दे रहे थे, you can't give the same food when they are older. The same goes for dry food. What you are giving when they are kitten as compared to when they are the big cats. Okay? So there are some do's and don'ts of this thing, if I summarize it. Some components like wet food, raw food, home-cooked meals, they ensure nutritional adequacy, but they do come with their flaws as well. Like in old times, they used to have raw food, like they would just hunt and have raw food. Why not be giving them raw food anymore?
Yeah,
do you have a whole job? Yeah, are you a pet mommy?
Yes, I am.
Do you have a cat?
Yeah, I have a cat.
Yeah. So if you keep on feeding her, just asking a question, if you keep on feeding, and she is indoor, right? She's not going outside to hunt. Okay. And you're feeding her on everyday basis. So if you start to feed her raw meat on everyday basis, do you think she has enough exercise to do? Enough planning to catch a prey? Enough time to, digest that? Socialize in the jungle? No. She is dependent on you now. You cannot just completely give them raw food anymore. And with, global warming is very big issue these days. So a lot of cats and dogs are also immune to some problems, and at the same time they have developed some issues. So with time, things change. The food my father was giving to their dog, I cannot give the same food to my dog these days. ये चीजें हम लोगों को समझनी है. They are very basic things. And what is the do and what are the don'ts? ये बस याद रखिए. फिर चाहे raw खिलाएं या kibbles खिलाएं, I have no issues with that. Okay? So the do is that then you will decide what we have to give. For the do, you have to provide balanced, complete diet with appropriate proteins, fats, and carbohydrate levels. This is what you need to make a good nutrition. अब चाहे वो आप homemade cook से दे रहे हैं, or if you're not able to fulfill that, if you don't know how to make a good combination of fiber, carbohydrates, the other carbohydrates, and also protein, then how will you trust कि आप उसको best food दे रहे हैं home cooked? Just because आपने चावल boil कर लिए, and just because आपने meat add कर लिया, okay? Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
So just because आपने rice boil कर लिया, उसमें chicken stock डाल लिया, chicken की bones डाल ली, you're not giving them enough food. So yes, I will personally say कि आपके पास जिस तरह इस वक्त एक rush वाला माहौल आ गया है, like people are working from morning to evening, the food that we can trust, and I also as a mom can trust, is the dry food. Because it comes with a complete nutrition. But then yes, there are some fraudulent and some good ones. वो फिर आपका काम है to find it out as a good pet nutritionist. And also when I said that you need appropriate protein, so you don't need the protein from offals. You know what offals is? Ijab, you know, right? intestines, बाकी extra stuff जो होता है. So a lot of manufacturers in the region, Malisef, unfortunately, I feel sorry for that, are actually making food from those things. So obviously, in long run, they won't help. They will create problems, and this is why they are not trusting the good food as well. So fraudulent हर जगह है. अच्छा, अब don't कौन से हैं? We have to avoid table scraps, human food, because they can be toxic and nutritionally imbalanced. We just had a dog. He had severe nosebleed epistaxis, and he was so emaciated that I felt sorry for that German Shepherd. And वो क्या खा रहा है? 1 साल का हो गया, सिर्फ रोटी दूध के अंदर डिप. Because मैं ट्रस्ट नहीं करता ड्राई फूड को. तो यार घर में उसको पका के तो कोई अच्छा दो. Like give him chicken at least, give him bones, give him good fat, give him rice, give him roti, but just give him other things. उस मासूम का ये condition है, he is blood parasite positive, he is emaciated, he has a lot of other issues going on at the moment, severe anemia. So I will not say that dry food is bad, and also supplementation is very much necessary to add up vitamins, minerals, and supplements needed. A lot of good dry foods are coming with those things added. But then you have to offer a lot of water along with that. Yeah. And to ensure hydration, fresh water is equally, you can say, necessary these days. तो आप अगर कहें कि मैंने वेट फूड खिलाना है, जो केन्ड फूड आता है, it comes with a lot of dental problems because it's wet food, it sticks to their tooth. And the dry food, because they like to chew, in old times they used to like to chew the bones, so it's good for them. So I personally suggest it's okay, but we have to understand the do's and don'ts.
Yeah. Sorry, I need to cut you off in between. I'm enjoying this a lot. Like, we obviously have
yes,
very limited.
Yep. Let's move on.
Our next question is that, ma'am, as you've been administering, and we all are seeing current animal abuse cases a lot, which are happening. And since you've been dog abuse cases, and we saw that camel abuse case lately. So what's your take on that? And what do you think is animal welfare in your opinion?
So first of all, I will not go deep into that. I will just say, there is nothing like domestic violence. There is nothing like animal abuse. There is nothing like human abuse. I may sound wrong to you guys. It is not these problems basically. The problem is lawlessness.
Yeah.
You are not punishing people. The human mentality works with punishment. Even in the religions, we are told sawab kya hota hai, gunah kya hota hai. So if you will not punish them, uske baad you can expect every type of bad things happening in your nation. From rapes to domestic violence to animal abuse to to abuse your own daughters and your sisters and also your brothers and husbands. So basically it's lawlessness. डर नहीं है किसी को किसी चीज का. एंड आप बात करते हैं एनिमल राइट्स की, जो बेचारे अपना प्रॉब्लम नहीं बता सकते. बट अबाउट the women who are dying in their homes, in their household on daily basis. Yeah. So just because something came on the internet and we started to hashtag it does not mean we don't have other problems in the society. It's all lawlessness. For me, what animal welfare means, it means proper nutrition, proper medical care, good living environment and protection from the harm. This is the duty of an owner. आप उनको confine कर रहे हैं ना घर में, तो फिर उनको उनके rights दें. And for us, it is important to give public education and strict law enforcement to combat all this. जब तक law enforcement नहीं होगा, talk on these topics is waste of time. Just starts making people do these problems. Over to you, Hijab.
Yeah, great answer indeed. I totally agree. So, ma'am, coming to our final segment of career paths and field issues and many
students here are basically have joined this session due to this particular segment. So, pathways, what do you think are pathways like apart from NABLE for the students who want to pursue small animal practice? Because एक common यही है कि जो students small animal practice करना चाहते हैं वो या तो पाकिस्तान में अपना clinic open कर लें या फिर apart from that they're doing BCSE right now or they're preparing for NABLE. But you were one of those who did like a slightly non-conventional pathway. You adopted, you went to Turkey for your MPhil. So what are the other pathways apart from NAVLE which students can जो है वो acquires in your opinion?
So first of all, ये जो एक trend आ गया NABLE, I'm not saying I'm not an aspirant or I'm not saying that I'm not going to appear one day, but I think our country works so much on the trends.
Yeah.
जब कोविड के डेज आए थे, everybody started to apply for Italian scholarships, and now हर कोई NABLE के पीछे लग गया है. But do you know, not those like out of that 100% who passed part 1 and part 2, just 5 or 4% made it to USA basically. So they're wasting money. You're wasting money in one way. Unless you have an opportunity to go there, you shouldn't just waste a lot of dollars on it. This is what I personally think. That's my personal thinking about this thing. So clinic nahi banana, to clinic mein what you have to do in the start, foreign mat just go for all these things. You need to move step by step by gaining practical experience and advanced trainings in small animals through residencies and internships. Now, if you know one of your seniors, Dr. Aisha Saad, she has not done NABLE. She never practiced in any clinic in Pakistan. When she was doing her internship, she requested the teachers to let her go for the externship. She spent some money, a little amount of money, some lakhs, and then she went to UAE. So she didn't even come for the final evaluation because काम सीख गई थी, कोई अपने सिखाए हुए काम वाले बंदे को नहीं भेजता कहीं पे. And she got hired. She did her final presentation from UAE, and she was not even a graduate at that time. So इतना बड़ा, मतलब it's infinity. बहुत सी possibilities हैं. But there are some other boards that you can actually apply to, and a lot of veterinarians are applying. I'm not talking about UVAS के बच्चे और UF के बच्चे और रिफा वेट्स के बच्चे, because वो एक कंपटीशन आ गया NABLE. इंस्टीट्यूट भी यही करवा रहे हैं, बता नहीं रहे और क्या अपॉर्चुनिटीज हैं, बच्चों के माइंड में भी इंकलकेट कर रहे हैं, बच्चे डिप्रेस हो रहे हैं जब फेल कर रहे हैं. आपके पास AVE है, which is the Australian Veterinary Examination, and do you know they call you and they let you take it when you're in Australia? And then we have this Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, and they offer you a lot of certification. You can even take online courses with them. And Royal College of Veterinary Sciences is a institute that is the pioneer of every you can say veterinary practice. Then there are other boards like American Board of Veterinary Practitioner, European Board of Veterinary Specialization. There are UAE boards. I'm not just talking about going outside the country. जहाँ आपने 15-20 लाख लगा के NABLE के सिर्फ एग्जाम्स देने हैं ना, वही सेव कर ले for the future traveling. Yeah. Start working in clinics on the low wages. It's fine. Take certification. जो आपकी सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं, आपके यहाँ से भी ये किया, यहाँ से ये कोर्स किया, यहाँ से ये रेजिडेंसी की, यहाँ से ये इंटर्नशिप की. This is more important as compared to just that one exam. That is good. जिन्होंने कर लिया, they are the best ones. But I'm not saying कि हर कोई कर सकता है. So you have a lot of other opportunities to have. I just saw a comment while I'm making this thing. Investment के बगैर clinic कैसे बनाएं? बेटा, investment के बगैर तो you can't even study in Pakistan. आप फी नहीं पे करते अपने institutions को. And what is tijarat? We know our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam as a tajir. Tijarat is also done in this way. So let's broaden our mindset, and a little investment can bring you a lot of money if you are good in skills. Your competencies are good. तो अपना work life balance सीखें, competitive market बनाएं. जहां आपको डर ना हो कि इन्फ्लेशन आ गई है तो मेरा क्लिनिक बंद नहीं होता, ठीक है? So start working in places instead of just going for this huge exam first.
Yeah. Experience is very important.
Yes,
So,
in different
ma'am,
places, take
yeah.
that in different places. Yeah, it's okay, Jaap, you can talk.
Yeah, so coming to the next question, it's like one of our final questions is that what are the day-old competencies and the skills you think are necessary for the aspirants who aspire to practice vets in the future?
Yes. So if you ask me in my lecture, when I'm in my college and I'm delivering a lecture, my answer will be different than what I'm going to say right now. Over there, I will tell the students to get a good CGPA, be good in the skills. But you know what I will say as a clinical practitioner? It will be client communication. Effective communication and empathy towards the pets can win you more cases as compared to your skills only. Like I mentioned earlier, आप में empathy होनी चाहिए. You must know how to welcome a pet owner. They're bringing their child to you these days. We don't even use the pet owner word anymore. We say pet mommies and pet daddies and pet families.
Yeah.
So ये एक बहुत बड़ा drawback है that we have. But apart from that, there are a set of things that I would like to mention. Clinical skills. And which clinical skills is the best clinical skill? मैंने definition नहीं सुनानी parvovirus की. मैंने नहीं definition सुनानी demodectic mange की. I have to be good with diagnosis in minimum resources possible, then treatment, and then management of that common disease and condition. Later come the surgical skills, but I personally put more emphasis on diagnostic proficiency. And if you know how to do little lab work, like you know how to do the fecal sampling, you know the skin scraping test, and you know which hyphae is this, which fungus is this, you can do the specific treatment. I don't like 15 दिन treatment करना, पूरा 7 दिन follow up के लिए बुलाना, पैसे बनाना. 4 days में animal ठीक करके दें, maximum 5 days, client वापस आएगा. उतना ड्रेन करने की उसको जरूरत ही नहीं है. He will come back for vaccinations, dewormings, spaying and neutering, the things you earn the most from. So your diagnostic proficiency using radiographs, or if you don't have an X-ray, no problem. You must be able to interpret it. ये आपकी basic day one competencies है, and team collaboration. Working efficiently with a veterinary team. You need a team to make a clinic. You can't just do it on your own. I'm standing here, it's been an hour. The clinic is running in the other section. I'm standing in OT right now, like I told you. The other examination rooms are working. Our interns are working. Our doctors are working.
Yeah.
So team banana सीखे and अपने clinical skills को, और learning grave तक होती है. You must keep on just learning. So that was my answer, if it was helpful.
Oh, yes, it was indeed. So, ma'am, ये next question भी आपने definitely answer कर दिया, that apart from curriculum, you said that communication skills are very important for the students, and yeah, working in a team, I think. And ma'am, any final words of wisdom for all the aspiring vets watching
Yes,
this podcast?
before I would go for that, for the extra skills that we need, like I mentioned in all the answers, I would say volunteer experience. Gaining practical experience through volunteering at shelters, at clinics. You don't always earn. हम लोग पैसे दे के पढ़ते हैं. अब जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको कोई फ्री पढ़ा रहा है, you're learning, तो आप उसी से सैलरीज भी लो, उससे you get paid. I'm getting trained under Dr. Mazhar and Dr. Mumtaz. I'm not getting paid for that, but I'm doing it because FAS free नहीं मिलता आजकल. So volunteer experience is good, and technology proficiency is very important. But if you don't have, you must have good diagnostic skills. ये मेरी extra एक skill की, I had this thing, and also empathy, time management, and problem solving abilities in a clinic are very important. And हम इनको soft skills कहते हैं. Yeah. Okay, and about my last words, right? So I want to officially say to all the aspiring veterinarians that remember, veterinary medicine is not just a profession. It's a vocation. You know what vocation is? It's a vocation. ये profession नहीं है, सिर्फ हमने इससे earn नहीं करना. We keep on learning. What do you do in vocational centers? You keep on improving your skills. ये vocation है, keep on learning. Stay curious. अगर आप curious नहीं है, you will not be able to face the same questions that failed you one day. And embrace every opportunity. कहीं से opportunity आ रही है ना growth की, no नहीं करना. किसी तरीके से मैनेज करें बट नो नहीं करना ग्रोथ की अपॉर्चुनिटी को. ये नहीं देखना कि मैं तो वेट बन गया हूं, I have this doctor name with me, I have the PVMC registration, I have my RVMP, मैं तो 80,000 से कम सैलरी नहीं दूंगा. Oh man, you're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn a lot of stuff. अपने आप को थोड़ा I think that you have to be in a strong relationship with your mentors and peers both. And never underestimate the power of compassion in your practice. If you are a compassionate vet, you will make it more, you can say financially as compared to those vets who have good machineries in the clinics. You can compete with them. Your compassion will make you compete. And just last thing, that your dedication will create a difference in the lives of animals, in the lives of the owners that have them. So stay resilient, stay committed, and prove higher standards of care, and just fulfill your journey with rewards. That one day when you are sitting in a couch old, you think about your life and you say, I did try a little bit, instead of just regrets. So that was my closing remarks.
Thank you so much, ma'am. This was truly a big, insightful session for all of us. Your words were of wisdom truly mattered. And I truly learned a lot today. So thank you so much for taking out time again and joining in. You're literally in your clinic right now. So thank you so much. नहीं, आप हमेशा ही जो है वो जब भी आपको इनवाइट करें, you never जो है वो delayed. You just first time you say yes, you will be there. So thank you so much for coming today and taking.
Also a part of the volunteering thing that I just talked about. I'm still improving my CV and it will keep on improving. Inshallah, I can't just stop. Okay, मैंने कर लिया, MS PhD हो गई है, done. I have my clinic done. No, you have to keep on improving.
Yes. So this was truly an insightful session. Hope everybody else also gained. Yeah. Hope everybody else gained a lot of knowledge from ma'am too, और सबने बहुत learn किया होगा from this. And thank you for the audience for taking out time and joining us today. More than 150 people registered for this session, and बहुत सारे लोगों ने join किया. And this will still be available on our social media platforms so that the students can get guidance throughout. So thank you so much, everybody. Without further ado, थोड़ा सा भी prolong हो गया. Thank you so much, ma'am, again. So we will be closing. Okay, Allah Hafiz.